Hey, CA and family.
What's good?
And today we are doing a mukbang where y'all can get to know the Smallwoods. Yay!
I'm gonna tell y'all what we having: lamb chops, corn, salad, and mashed potatoes. That's how the chops came out. Show them a plate, baby.
And this is made by both of us.
That's her plate. That's not my plate. You know, I'm a simple guy. I don't like too much on my salad. I don't really like too much. She do the most.
Yep, sure do. But so let's kick it off.
We were supposed to pray, but I bit into it.
It's okay. Come on. It's okay.
We start praying for
y'all. Know he ready to dig into this delicious food. Come on. Mm-hmm. All right, dear God, I come today to thank you for everything you do for us. I thank you for blessing us with a roof over our head and food in our stomach. Pray that you will nurse this food into our bodies. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. So we're going to just jump right into it, babe. So what's your version of how we met? We both could tell our side or jump in and jump out.
My version of how we met is that, you know, I came on the bus looking like Usher.
Boy, if you don't get
licking my lips. You know what I'm saying? Just like that. And then she was like, damn, he's sexy, he fun. And then before you know it, I was here and she was with me. No, seriously. We met on the bus. 13, whatever. But we met on the bus. I met her out in town and country. I got on the bus. She was kind of giving me that look and I was kind of giving her that look. And before you know it, we start talking and we start getting to know each other and we start to realize that we had a lot in common with each other. We both was doing rap music at one point in time. She don't want me to tell y'all that, but we started doing rap music at the time, and before you know it, one thing led to another, and I asked her for a hug, and I asked her for a phone number, and yeah.
Let me get out my version of the story, because he swear. First of all, we met on the number 11. I was coming from an orientation. I was a homemaker at the time, and I was trying to go be a medical assistant. And once I got to the orientation, I'm not going to lie, didn't like it. So I'm like, okay. So I get on the bus and then this fine chocolate brother, let me stop playing. Now he come walking on the bus. So remind you, I can't judge his situation or why he on the bus because I was on the bus. And we both had car situations that happened. So it was like, I seen him. And then he was like, I looked at him and then I double looked. So I'm like, okay. So he sat across from me. He gets to playing music, y'all. Like he thought this was Diary. What was that movie? By Tyler Perry.
Diary of a Black
Mad Black Woman. No, it was Medea's family reunion or something like that. So he gets to playing music and stuff. So he gets talking to me and he like, yeah, I rap. So I'm like, I rap too. So at the time I was rapping, we'll get into that too. So I was rapping, and then like I had showed him my rap. So we get off the bus. Remind y'all, I don't do the meet a guy first time. I'm finna give you a hug. We talking. This lady come interrupt us in the middle of talking. She's standing. You forgot about that, babe. Yeah. She's standing in the middle of us. Charles is looking like, are you serious? Like she's standing in the middle of us and gets to talking. She walk away and he was like, can I get a hug or whatever after we exchanged numbers and stuff like that. And it was his idea to exchange numbers, so don't make it look like you just got on the bus. And I'm like, yeah, daddy. Jumped on your back. Like, we exchanged numbers and it was history. And then our baby boy came along. And now we got a baby girl on the way. So, yep. Y'all gotta excuse me. I had dropped barbecue sauce on my shirt.
I know y'all gonna kind of clown us for not having spoons in the comments or whatever, but it is what it is. Actually, before I go into the details of us, I got slept upside the head trying to eat something at my granddad's house with a fork instead of a spoon. So that's kind of always been stuck with me to make sure I eat stuff the right way.
Oh my goodness. Dang. Well, when I met Charles, he told me how many children he had. And some people would be like, oh, well, you didn't have no kids. Why would you jump into a situation with somebody with kids? First of all, I didn't think I could have kids. So I'm like, okay, if he got kids, it's no problem with me, as long as you don't have no dealings with any sexual dealings with any people beforehand or whatever like that. And he showed me that he didn't before we even got intimate or moved further or anything like that. So he proved himself to me, and it's been history ever since.
Yeah. And I can't say one thing about me, and it was a game changer. It changed my life. to actually meet somebody loyal and respectful as her, and actually being with somebody that understand me like she understand me. And I feel like we understand each other. Our friendship and our bond is just beyond just just a relationship or a friendship. It's actually like, this is my partner in crime. This is my best friend. This is someone I love type stuff. And I'll go to back for it. I'll go to war for it. So it's good to kind of have that understanding and be locked in with somebody that's locked in with you.
Yeah, and I'm chewing. Give me a second. You can finish talking, babe.
About what? About what?
Food so good I forgot. What do you feel like is the 5 best things that changed since you've been in a serious committed relationship?
Oh, first off, I want to say I stopped smoking. I stopped smoking tobacco. I stopped smoking marijuana. I want to say just the characteristics of myself, my self behavior, parenting skills. It's a lot of stuff that actually changed being in a serious relationship, because it's more than just being in a serious relationship. It's actually, giving your partner the best of you.
Yeah.
And that's how I look at it. Giving my partner the best of me. Is she giving me the best of her? If I see that I got a woman behind me, I feel like it makes it more easier for a man to have a strong woman behind him to become a better man. Because it's easier to say than done. She don't know it all. I don't know it all. And sometimes when I'm, confused or I'm lost, I seek for information for her, and she's able to give me those things and those knowledge and those wisdom. I mean, she was raised in her grandparents' house. For y'all that don't know or care, like I know or care, she was raised with her grandfather, and she's younger than me. I'm 34 and she's 25. She'll be 26 this year. But honestly, having that young soul, but that old soul at the same time, kind of deal going on. It's kind of like a deal for me. So that's kind of where we at right now, having somebody that could just understand. She put me on to like a lot of older music from like the 80s and the 70s. So here goes the 60s. So here's my daughter, 14 years old, talking about this type of music, and just talking about 90s music, and just just knowledgeable. And I feel like it was just an honor to have somebody that's actually knowledgeable about certain stuff that I'm not knowledgeable about. And I actually was able to tell her certain stuff that she wasn't knowledgeable about.
Yeah.
And, a man love to learn, a woman love to learn. You can never stop learning every day. I don't know for y'all that, that don't want to learn, or who is learning or not. But for us, it was like a process of learning every day, so even became a better speaker. It's different things of that nature. Just became a better man overall as a whole, because I wanted to give her my best and she gave me her best.
Yeah, and it's just like when you step in it, I could tell you 3 things that changed about me, honestly, is my forgiveness and my forgiveness in situations. My patience have changed a lot, and growth, like it was certain things that I wasn't used to, and we very open. So like before I got with him, I didn't know, like I knew I had intercourse before plenty of times, like, but it was like I know I never like I'm not gonna say I didn't know how, but I didn't know how to speak up and tell somebody like how I like my body being touched, or certain different things like that. So that's one of the things too, like sex is a 10, bow, grown folks out. It's nighttime. So but yeah, like we like I said, we got a baby boy now. He's 9 months, and we got a little girl on the way. That's gonna be born a day before his birthday. So I am getting my tubes tied. I didn't know I could have kids in the first place, due to past relationships and certain different things that doctors will say about my menstrual, my body, certain things like that. So it's just, I don't know, it's a privilege. Like I feel like I get to experience love the correct way this time. So 2 different pregnancies, 2 different experiences. I like that.
Yeah, my first pregnancy, she always was complaining about me smoking cigarettes, me smoking a blunt, me doing something. She always had something to complain about. But honestly, it wasn't even, it got to a point that wasn't no complaint. It was actually, I want the best for you, and have to look at certain situations about my health and see that smoking was not the best thing for me. I know some people would tell me, hey, you smoking weed was cool, or you smoking cigarettes. I feel like that was just really having the wrong people around me. So getting with the right person to want the best for you can't come off sometime as she's doing too much or I'm not doing enough. At the end of the day, you should want to listen to your partner to become the best version of yourself, especially someone that actually love you, because they ain't gonna make these complaints or these little comments that nitpick with you. They're gonna do this to actually see you become a better person, and now that ought to just come with just growing and learning to get to the stage that I am at now, because I was never at this stage.
And then it's a certain thing of too, you got to learn. Sometimes as women, we have to learn that always complain, not even complaining, always telling somebody what you think right on back. Sometimes you got to take it to God before you take it to your partner. So I was told that by my baby godmom, Miss Nancy. Shout out Miss Nancy. I would call her like, man, he doing this, he doing that, like, and she'd be like, well, what can you, before you keep judging him, what can you change? And she very real, blank out said, what can you judge, what can you fix about yourself that'll make him want to fix what he doing? So instead of me steady saying, you don't sit down and read the Bible with me, you don't do this, you don't do that, you don't, I started doing it first. Or I started like for 2 weekends in a row I fasted meat, and when I was pregnant I fasted meat, and I'm like, I just want to stop smoking. So he started coming in, he'll smoke a cigarette, then he'll instantly get nauseous. Right or wrong. He was throwing up, and I'm like, well, God, that's the way you working then it came to trees, and I'm like, marijuanas. I'm like, because once I seen during my pregnancy when I stopped smoking weed, everything got clearer. Like, it's like everything was like
definitely
right in your face, and I'm like, you don't see that? Or you know, and then it was like he couldn't hear me when he smoked, like not hear me physically, but he couldn't hear me emotionally when he smoked.
Zoning out.
Yeah, so he more available now, like if you get what I'm saying. So my first pregnancy was kind of hard because I'm not gonna lie, we moved kind of fast, but it was for a reason, and God brought us together for a reason, and I'm a firm believer of that. Like, people throw in like, oh, you this baby mama. Well, I'm a fiance, my ring in the drawer, but I don't consider myself a baby mama, extra baby mama, whatever people want to consider me as, because we getting married, we're gonna do it. I'm just pregnant right now. I would rather want to fit into a nice wedding dress and different things of that nature. And speaking of weight loss, want to talk about that? Well, before I met Charles, I had lost 115 pounds. And when I got pregnant with Kobe, I had to stop smoking. So I replaced smoking for eating. Then they put me on bed rest. So I gained about 80 in the middle pounds. And then 4 months in, we started working out and stuff together after we had Kobe. And I'm in the gym and I'm sweating. I'm working out. Whole time I was pregnant again. So now we got our boy, we got our girl. I am getting my tubes tied. A lot of people say I'm young. You might want to have more. No, I know I don't. It's not even a patience thing. I got my boy and my girl. My life is perfect. Why would I complicate that?
Yeah. You know, when let's all be an adults here. You know, when you're an adult and you know, sometimes you want to sleep in, or sometimes you want to do this or you want to do that, whether it's financial or whatever the case may be. You really can't do that. You know, having kids, you have to make different sacrifices. And so what we got to the point of is that we really couldn't have a sleep like that because our son was waking up whenever he wants to wake up. So now he's the new boss and he's the man of the house, or the baby boy of the house. But point of what we're trying to say is that, you know, having kids take a lot of sacrificing and a lot of patience. And, you know, it's something that we're not going to want to give, you know, want to have a whole bunch of kids and not really have time for herself, you know, for this boy and girl opposite. Plus me, I have kids on my own already. Yeah. Before I met her, already had 4 kids.
It was spread abroad when he met me. We wasn't just, was out of a relationship. How many year relationship?
It was 8 years.
Huh?
About 8 years.
Yeah. So he was getting out of that relationship when we met, but we was both healed. Well, we wasn't healed from childhood trauma, but was healed from relationships before. Well, we still have our battles with what the last person did. You know what I mean? So I still have some things where I'd be like, are you going to do this? Are you going to do that? And it'd be like, you sometimes you got to check yourself in the door. Like, no, because this different people don't hold everybody else accountable for what somebody else did. What's the difference between our relationship and these new up and coming relationships? You feel like, and then I'll go after you.
I say friendship. I feel like, and now a lot of these relationships, people just settle. I mean, it's easier said than done. You just go out there and just find somebody just to settle. But I think the friendship, the friendship of, the commitment of being friends, making each other laugh and respecting each other and having boundaries that we don't cross, and just a lot of different things. I mean, I'm Charles here, Kara, and it's always like that. And like you said, being open, you know what I'm saying? Not being able to, not being able to, how can you say, have that cut off or something you can't discuss. We're able to discuss us as all time and being able to be partners about it. But I would say it's a balance. It's really a balance. When we was getting into the working out, we was getting into having a diet and balancing it out and having a schedule. That's what we was doing before we end up getting pregnant again. So I feel like we learning how to balance the good and the bad. It's easier to say than done, but it got to be done, especially if you want to make it work, and especially if you want to have a commitment. And I say friendship and trust, everything, just a healthy balance of everything. That's what I would say. This is different from us and a whole bunch of relationships, from the good and bad, because we have our days, but it's about how we react and how we reflect upon it, because we have children, we have people around us, and we have a lot of support around us. So we look at it like, what can we do to be better for each other? I mean, she, of course, addressed the smoking, and me, of course, I address her attitude or her lack of patience, because when I first met her, she just told y'all that she ain't really have that much patience because of what somebody else done. But now I feel like she actually being able to trust me is because I'm giving her something to trust, and I'm pouring in that energy, because I'm a firm believer of the man being the leader, and I'm giving her something to follow behind and stuff like that. And then, I mean, she really good at being my backbone. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm leading the way that
I finally wanted him to lead,
or I want to lead.
Yeah, too. The way he want to lead. Yeah.
I want to lead in how she wants me to lead. It's a healthy balance. It ain't just just her. It's actually me too. I actually had a vision. I told my best friend before I even met her, one of my best friends I've been knowing for 20 years. I told him that I would stop smoking. I would stop doing different things. When I told these people that, they looked at me like, yeah, right. Well, yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But actually, when I was doing those things, when I was getting high and I was smoking and doing drugs, and you know what I'm saying, when I was doing those things, I was actually to the point I was like, man, you know what? I don't want to do this no more. I don't feel comfortable doing this. I don't want to be like this. And I prayed upon it, and it finally came. It didn't come overnight, but when it finally came, I took advantage of the situation and I made the best out of it.
And I'm never the type of person to say accept anything. Excuse me. I'm never the type of person to be like, accept anything when you're in a relationship. He's a good man, Savannah kind of girl. You know what I mean? He's a good man, Savannah. Like, no. I'm that type of person where I used to be going at the door. Like, soon as some stuff, I'm going at the door. Like, I'm not sitting around to see. But my thing is, I knew he wasn't a cheater. Like, we was open with our phone stuff. That was the first time I had that too, because other people I was with, you see their phone, they sweating bullets. Like, you be holding their phones like.
But you can't see my phone.
Like, oh, I can have your code, but you can't have mine. Like, no.
The first phone, I didn't even have a passcode on the first phone. Yeah. Excuse me, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I set the passcodes for our new phones. We both got the same passcode. So I knew he was loyal. I knew we both had endured a lot. Childhood things, present things, relationship things. So it was just like, and what helped me is I started with a client doing home care, and they put me back in church. Well, I'm not going to say they did, but God did. And it was like, I would just pray like for patience, like, because I actually, I actually loved him. Like it was a different kind of feeling, like being held and stuff like that. Like I've been held and past that, but it was just a different feeling or a different conversation or different jokes or even wrestling at nighttime like 5-year-olds. You get what I'm saying? Like it's like I don't know. It was a different kind of feeling and a different kind of vibe. So with different things, you gotta have patience. Like I'm not saying stay for don't stay while a man is beating on you. Don't stay while a man is cheating on you. But if he
don't
got
settle.
don't settle. Don't stay for addiction.
Know
Don't
your worth.
stay. Yeah. Period. Don't stay for addiction. Don't stay for certain other things like that. Stay if it's certain kind of flaws that you feel like God can fix. Sometimes people need to be by themselves and heal. Like you can't be in a relationship with somebody and expect yourself to heal everything in them, because sometimes people supposed to come heal, and sometimes God sends you somebody that needed a little fixing up, and we both did.
Right.
I needed help with my patience. He needed help with certain things. We both came together. Like it was just like it was crazy. I'm
like
not
you
even.
say, I like when you reference the fixing up, because it's like finding the perfect house in town or the most beautiful neighborhood in the town. Once you find that, once you find that place, like just a couple busted windows, maybe the roof need to be fixed, but this house have a lot of potential. You put a little bit of money into it and then you fix it up. Or just like that car, the same kind of concept of what this is, but it was the heart for me that actually seen, like I say, was just able to have somebody that you could make laugh that want to make you laugh, especially me. I was always frustrated. I don't know why, but I was just always on edge. Maybe past trauma from childhood, whatever. But I was always on edge, and really being with her, once again, it's a healthy balance of laughter and being serious.
Yeah,
because it's not.
And we've had like I tell people this, like people think because the way we post this stuff on social media that we try to act like we're perfect or we're better than everybody. No, literally, we have had our toxic moments in our art. We broke up for literally like what was it, 3 weeks when I was pregnant with Kobe, and it was literally because either smoking or we wasn't seeing eye to eye. And we did move fast at first. Like, I'm not gonna lie, we moved kind of fast, but in the end, it was worth it. Like, it's not the end now, but it was it was worth moving fast. I'm not gonna lie, I love my baby boy. Like, I love him. I love the baby I'm pregnant with already. I love him. I love his kids. Like, and then that's another thing. Like, kids love me. Like, it's not a thing of, oh, I'm trying to be your mom too. Like, no, I establish a boundaries there too, a balance there too with his children. So we have good times. You'll see as we go along this summer and as we do vlogs and fun trips to the beach and different stuff like that. So it's not.
I just wanted to know. I got a question for you. If I was still smoking, would you feel like you could have dealt with that?
No.
I feel like, honestly, her saying no don't make her a bad woman. Her saying no actually make me feel like there's no excuse of knowing this not the best for me. She's not saying no because of her personal preference and need. She's saying no is why.
Because my thing is, I used to smoke marijuana. I used to smoke blacks, but I only went through a black and vape phase for like 2 months.
So do you think you saying no is because you love me, you want to see my health improve?
Yeah. I was gonna get to that. I feel like I can't sit back and watch you kill yourself, one, because people don't understand. When he used to smoke cigarettes,
it's tough.
It used to be like his heart would speed up in the middle of the night. He wasn't like it's like he'd be so anti, like if he don't have a cigarette, it's like when he was trying to quit, first he would pick arguments so he could have a reason to be like, see, you made me smoke a cigarette. Like, no. Or either it was like, and then another thing is, I cared about his health, but no partner should ever sit back and feel neglected. So if your partner's smoking, getting high, you trying to tell them your feelings or you upset about something, they just sitting there high zoned out, who's going to want to sit there for that when the next person can listen? Or I could go to a counselor. Sometimes your partner could be your counselor too. So if you're not sitting, we not listening, we can't communicate, you sit and pay. And it's like a thing where we both kind of got like an ADHD thing, but it's like a different thing. Like where he will pace the floor for hours with his phone and listen to music. And it was while he was high, like he would pace the floor for hours. Like I'm saying, like, you want to watch a movie? He can't sit still. Oh, you want to do this? He can't sit still. He got to be. So I'm like, no. Or as I'm talking, he said like, huh? Wait, what you say? Huh? And it was just like, it got to a point where I'm like, okay, this is not fun. I'm pregnant. I'm not smoking. Excuse me. I'm not smoking while I'm pregnant. I'm like, I can't do this. Like we literally, and we've had our moments. Like, and he improved on his anger a lot. Like, we can get into your background a little bit.
Yeah.
We very open. Charles has a domestic in his background. He's serving probation for. He's off of probation in July. But I can't go all the way into detail of that. You know, that's something in his past. He's never put his hands on me. But he did have a lot of his angry moments and blowing up. And it's something that I've seen through it every time he'll blow up. As a woman, you never make an excuse for somebody's actions. You see what I'm saying? But it was just like I could see certain things like what triggered him, what did that. I was like, you notice this what you did when everything would calm down. Like, you notice this? Why is this triggering you like this? Why is this doing like that? And then we start bringing in more prayer, started anger management, stop smoking, and that's another thing that trigger mood swings too that people don't know is marijuana.
Yes.
Stop lying to yourself.
I agree. 100% with the marijuana. Everybody, oh well, it makes you calm. It makes you this. It balances you out. No BS. You know, coming from a guy as me, everybody's different. But excuse me, my opinion is that it really was just an excuse, or it's always been an excuse just to keep on doing the same thing, to repeat the same type of behavior. Because with marijuana, if I didn't have it, I would actually pick mood swings.
Yeah.
I would be on some mood swing type stuff, and it's because I didn't smoke or I didn't. And then even with jobs, I mean, I had a lot of inconsistency, or I had different jobs. And now he's been
working the same job for ever since he stopped smoking. He's been working the same job.
Because now I could wake up in the morning, I still be tired. I still got the money tired, just like everybody watching this or everybody that's going to watch this. I don't half of the time want to wake up in the morning, but it's different. It hit different from when I'm up all night smoking weed, trying to.
Or if you don't have weed to go to work, you like it was one time, y'all. Yeah, it was one time
before I met you too. It was like that. Before I met you, it was like that. Like I have to make sure I be, smoking a blunt before I go to work, especially when I was on the bus route before I, had got vehicle. Before I had got a vehicle, I'd be on the bus route like, man, shit, I gotta smoke one before I gotta get one in before I even go to work. And I felt like it was making me more effective. At the end of the day, it was not.
And it people that struggle with anxiety and depression, and y'all say that it's causing y'all to be happy. That's the only thing that make y'all happy. It's not. I literally realize now that I don't smoke, it be days where I'll be down, but it's not as down as I was if I didn't have weed. If you get what I'm saying, like it was days where I would just start grieving out of nowhere, grieving my grandma. Like I still grieve her, don't get me wrong, but it'll be like I just make an excuse to want to smoke. Like anybody got a blunt? Anybody want to smoke with me? Like because first of all, I'm broke because I'm not keeping a job because I'm getting high, and I'm like, I just want to lay here and get high, and watch TV all day, or I'm getting high and I'm going to work and I'm like, I don't even know how to count this money. I'm so high. Like, so it'd be like, weed can trigger your anxiety and everything like that. So I have a question for you. We're getting spicy. Okay, it's time to spice things up. All right. You scared?
No, I'm
your
never
chest
scared.
beating?
Never.
Could you tell when you first had sex with me that I wasn't all the way experienced?
In some areas, yeah. Some areas, not all areas, but in some areas. I mean, I was like, hey, maybe. I mean, that's where the communication come in, right? Hey, I don't like this. I don't like that. I mean, honestly, you told me a few things that I didn't like that I had to adjust, and I told you a few things that you didn't like that you had to adjust. But at the end of the day, that comes with, once again, just having that
real relationship.
Communication, because it's like, or having that friendship, you know what I'm saying, or that relationship. That communication is key. It's critical because you don't got a partner that you really can't talk to. How can you suspect for anything to change or anything to be different?
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like another area that had improved to me was communication, because I really couldn't talk to people or explain to people about certain things because it'll come off, or I think I know it all, or you want this that way, or you want this way. And if I could never talk to my partner, then it's just leading to for disaster for me to go out there to try to talk to somebody else that really don't understand me. So now I'm even more in a better or even less fortunate situation.
Yeah, it's funny because it's funny that you said that because it was like literally in the relationships I've been in while I was sexual, I never told them like what I liked or what I. It was just like more like I had told him like when we did get sexual and I had it was the first time with being with him was the first time I ever came from penetration, like like in and out. So it was like I told him that like that, and he didn't believe me. Like, you how old? Like, I'm like, no, I literally never like to. I literally never like I faked it. Like, I told people I did and I didn't. So we was like we talked about that and it was funny. Like, we just had like funny different moments talking about stuff like that. Is there any spicy questions you would like to ask me before we close this segment
Do you want to go around or something, or
out? We'll be back.